Top on the brief this morning, the National Emergency Management Agency says 414,000 people have been affected and 37 have died in the Borno State flood disaster, with search and rescue operations still ongoing. The state government has activated 9 internally displaced persons camps, deployed additional staff to support rescue efforts, provided water purification equipment and critical search and rescue tools. The Director General of NEMA, Mrs. Zubaida Omar, disclosed this at the National Emergency Coordination Forum meeting in Abuja.
As part of ongoing efforts, internally displaced camps have been activated in some states, most especially with the recent one, Borno, that we have seen. The state government has been very proactive, and so far they have about 9 IDP camps. Additional staff have also been deployed to support search and rescue operations. We have also deployed water purification and critical search and rescue equipment to affected states, especially Borno, being the most recent, while food and non-food items are also being provided to support the affected persons. To complement these efforts, plans are underway to provide additional relief intervention, including medical consumables and medical.
Now, in the meantime, the Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, has assured that emergency medical supplies will be dispatched to Maiduguri, that's the Borno State capital, in the next 3 days in response to the flood disaster. In an exclusive interview with Channels Television, the Health Minister, who visited the state to assess the situation, notes that the ministry is working hard to replace over 2 million doses of vaccines lost to the floods to halt a significant outbreak of vaccine-preventable diseases. And still in Borno State, as survivors of the Maiduguri flood recount their experiences from temporary camps across the state capital, socioeconomic activities have been affected also by this disaster. While business owners count their losses, other businesses, on the contrary, have been boosted. And some markets like the Gamboru perishable market, which was completely submerged by the flood, has temporarily been relocated to the stadium. Politics now. The People's Democratic Party says it has plenty of respect for the National Peace Committee, but insists on certain conditions before signing the peace accord for the September the 21st governorship election. Addressing journalists at the party secretariat in Benin City, the Edo State capital, the governorship candidate of the PDP, Asue Ighodalo, expressed hope that all the relevant stakeholders can still retrace their steps and inspire confidence in the contesting political parties. For his part, the Edo State chairman of the PDP, Anthony Aziegbemi, calls for immediate release of all arrested persons as part of conditions for the PDP to sign the peace accord. Still with the PDP, the party has declined to sign the peace accord ahead of the Edo State governorship election mediated by the National Peace Committee in Benin City, the state capital. 17 political parties and their candidates signed the peace accord, committing to maintaining peace before, during and after the election on September the 21st. The state chairman of the party, Mr. Aziegbemi, explains that the party is declining to sign because the members of the party are being detained by the police. Now, the Nigeria Air Force has recovered 28 bodies after the air component of Operation Well Punch conducted a highly successful air interdiction mission on September the 11th, 2024, with several more terrorists, weapons and burnt motorcycles still being cleared in Shiroro local government area of Niger State. A statement signed by the Deputy Director of Public Relations and Information of the Force, Group Captain Kabiru Ali, the mission targeted terrorists in Bassa upon receipt of a request for air support from friendly forces in the area. The statement explains that upon arrival, Nigeria Air Force air assets observed over 100 terrorists engaging friendly forces in a fierce firefight, and after confirming the positions of friendly troops, the NAF conducted precision airstrikes on the terrorists' positions. Away from security, President Bola Tinubu has met with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace in London, the United Kingdom. The special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Nonuga, disclosed this in a statement on Thursday. He describes the meeting as private, highlighting the enduring and cherished relationship between Nigeria and the United Kingdom. The statement reveals that both leaders discussed global and regional matters of shared priority, focusing on the urgent and complex challenge of climate change. Mr. Ononuga explained further that President Tinubu and His Majesty also explored opportunities for collaboration in anticipation of the upcoming COP29 summit in Azerbaijan and the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Samoa. In business now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has directed payment service providers to begin the tracking of all point-of-sale transactions. In a circular to all payment service providers on connectivity to payment terminal service aggregators, the Apex Bank handed a 30-day deadline to PSPs to regularize with payment terminal service aggregators, that's PTSA. The circular, dated September 11, 2024, was signed by CBN's Director of Payment System Management, Oladimeji Taiwo. The circular reads in part, as part of efforts to mitigate the concerns regarding channeling all point-of-sale transactions through a single aggregator, the CBN on April the 19th, 2024, granted a second PTSA license to Unified Payment Service Limited, UPSL. The CBN thereafter directed that acquirers are henceforth required to route all transactions from POS terminals at merchant and agent locations, whether on physical or electronic terminals, through any CBN licensed payment terminal service aggregator. And outside our shores, the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, says 3 of its workers have been killed and 2 others injured in a strike in eastern Ukraine. The ICRC did not identify who was behind the attack, but called it unconscionable that shelling would hit an aid distribution site. Earlier, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said those killed were Ukrainian and blamed Moscow for the shelling, calling it another Russian war crime. The agency said its vehicles are clearly marked and operate regularly in the frontline region of Donetsk. And in sports, Japan forward Maya Hijikata says she and teammates will give their all against the Falconets of Nigeria in the round of 16 at the ongoing Colombia 2024 FIFA Under-20 World Cup. The young Nadeshiko will confront Chris Danjuma's side at the Metropolitano Teco Stadium in Bogota on Friday, September the 13th. The encounter will kick off at 8 p.m. local time, but that's 2 a.m. West African time. And the Falconets have our best wishes as they take on Japan. And what are some of your thoughts to the big stories this morning, particularly those that will form the conversation?